The next day went fine, just like the rest, and when the last customer had left, the cleaning began. However, after being drafted to cleaning them for a month, Freddy refused to clean the bathrooms. Foxy decided to be the big animatronic and volunteered. After that was settled, Foxy started on his perilous task. Bunny was cleaning the stage, thinking of what Freddy told him, and decided the bear might be right. No harm in just speaking with Chica. After all, they had known each other for years. The purple rabbit scratched the back of his head, near one of the chips that was in the box Goldie got from their father. None of them really knew what the chips actually did at the time, but the trust they placed in their father made them take one each. Ever since he activated his upgrades, he had been feeling strange around Chica. That isn't all either. He suddenly felt way more than he usually could, somehow understanding why humans react the way they do in certain situations. Bunny admitted it was weird in the start, yet he also enjoyed having these new feelings and understandings. Well, except from that strange and awkward feeling he kept getting when he was around the chicken. His pride made him distance himself from her since he did not want to make a fool out of himself, least of all around Chica. He also, for some reason, got angry if the other guys were too friendly with her.
Bunny?
The purple rabbit turned to Freddy. The bear gave him a look. Groaning, Bunny walked over to Chica and the feeling returned. He tried to find something intelligent to say, but all he could muster was,
Hey.
Chica turned to him, blinking.
Hey, something wrong?
Chica was the most caring of the animatronics, and she did not want to see any of her friends hurt or sad. Seeing how uncomfortable the normally cool and boisterous Bunny looked, she knew something was up. Bunny opened his mouth, trying to find something to say, but nothing came out. Feeling like a moron, Bunny left, not seeing the confused expression on Chica's face. Freddy face-palmed at the scene before him.
This will be harder than I thought.
He sighed. According to the emotional manual, Bunny might have had a crush on Chica. Unfortunately, it did not say how to deal with this, only the criteria to meet this condition.
Brother?
Turning away from his failed experiment between Bunny and Chica, Freddy acknowledged his golden brother.
Yes?
We might have a problem.
From the serious look on Goldie's face, Freddy could tell it was urgent.
And that problem is?
Foxy made me aware that some of the customers are curious about our lack of restrictions, and the fact that there are no human employees.
Great. Just what they needed. Chica was, however, starting to complain about not being able to sing on stage. Maybe they should just hire some humans. It was kind of ironic. Robots hiring humans sounded so weird at the time. Freddy walked to the office and took out the money they had earned this month. From the amount of bills and bank statements in the box, it was clear that they had more than enough to keep the restaurant running and hire some extra staff.
I think we have enough to hire some new employees.
Goldie quickly scanned through the various pieces of paper, and then glanced to his brother.
We have? But who is keeping track of all the budgeting?
I am.
And you're also keeping track of everything else.
Yes, what exactly is your point?
Aren't you tired?
Freddy sighed and rested his head in his hands. Ever since opening the restaurant, it felt like his batteries only got half recharged, and his eyelids felt very heavy.
Very, but Father expects that—
No. He expects us.
Goldie interrupted the other bear, going into Big Brother mode. Goldie placed his hand on his brother's shoulder.
You don't have to do all this on your own. We're a team, Freddy. We're your family.
They're tired, too. I don't want to make them more exhausted.
Freddy motioned to the others. Bonnie was lazing around the dining table, Chica was exhaustively preparing the pizzas for that night, and Foxy was taking a power nap inside his cove.
I think Father might have underestimated us. But let's try and make the best of this human situation.
Agreed. Is that pepperoni pizza I smell?
Goldie turned back to the party room. On one of the tables were several plates of pizza, each with a different kind of topping.
It seems you've taken a liking to pepperoni.
Freddy chuckled when the older bear's stomach growled.
What can I say? When you're hot, you like hot foods.
Not quite sure that's how the saying goes.
Hey, are you two coming? I'm starving!
Bonnie yelled from the party room. This was followed by a loud bump and a yarg.
Get up, you lazy mutt!
Chuckling, the two bears walked back to the party room and joined the others around the table. One of their upgrades made them capable of eating and processing the vitamins in the food as energy.
We got some leftovers, boys. I may have whipped up a bit of your favorites, too.
Oh, that sounds good.
Goldie grinned and took the pizza, smiling to the younger animatronics.
Look at us. We look like one big family.
Really? Well, it's not like we share the same house or the same product line or anything.
Bonnie's sarcasm reached no bounds. Whether this was a gift or a curse will remain unknown. Goldie took a large bite out of a slice of pepperoni pizza and sighed in content.
Wow! Seems even better after a long day of work. Or maybe your cooking just keeps getting better.
Chica, being the humble animatronic she was, blushed at the praise, not noticing the small, less than amused frown on Bonnie's face. Freddy did, however, and elbowed the rabbit, giving a warning look for him to watch his manners. Bonnie's gaze softened. He in no way wanted to start a fight with Goldie. He is the most respected out of all of them. This, though, does not quell his jealousy. Turning away from the somewhat sulking rabbit, Freddy glanced to the parts and service room.
You think Marion is hungry?
He hasn't turned his upgrades on. I think he prefers it that way.
I'll never understand that guy.
Bonnie was snapped from his sulking at talk of their mysterious companion.
Why doesn't he join us?
I asked him when I went to check on how Spring was doing.
Bonnie turned to him, ears listening intently for more word on the golden-coloured hair.
How's Spring doing?
He's doing fine. He's still unconscious, though.
Oh. Well, what did Marion say then?
He said something about preferring to be left alone.
That explains why he preferred staying in that box of his at the old place.
Foxy mused. Having a sudden thought, he asked Freddy,
Are you planning on building a game corner?
Not at the moment. I got enough to think about already. Marion will, unfortunately, have to wait for his time to shine.
Oh yeah, there is actually something I want to speak to you all about. I've already taken it up with Frederick here.
Please don't call me that.
Freddy sighed. He never really liked the full name their father gave him. Goldie gave him a goofy smile before continuing to the others.
It's about splitting the roles a bit better between us. Little brother here has too much work on his hands, and it's affecting his health.
I'm fine.
I told you he's a workaholic.
Bonnie whispered to Foxy, and they both giggled like kids. Freddy, however, wasn't as amused and sent a death glare their way. Goldie turned to the bear.
He has a point, brother.
Let's just get back to the main topic. I want to keep this place running.
Me too. It might be hard and tiresome, but this is our home.
I can handle the kitchen.
Chica put her 2 cents in, trying to help their leader out.
But I could need some assistance. I miss singing with you guys.
I checked our budget, and it seems you could very well begin some staff soon.
Freddy assured her. Chica looked up expectantly.
And an extra cook?
For now, only waitstaff.
The chicken seemed content with that and nodded while leaning back into her chair. The brown bear glanced at Bonnie, who seemed to be in deep thought.
Bonnie? You okay?
Huh? Oh, just thinking.
Tell us what's on your mind.
Bonnie sighed and pointed at the stereo that controlled the music when they were too busy playing with the kids.
You got me thinking. All I can really help with is the music. It's all I know.
And the fine arts of pranking.
Foxy remarked dryly, still sour from the sudden wake-up Bonnie gave him. The rabbit smirked, but otherwise ignored the fox.
I'm sorry I can't do more, but I wasn't designed to be more than a musician.
Designed. That was their biggest flaw. They were designed to fit only certain roles. Although the new upgrades did loosen their restrictions by a large margin, the animatronics, much like humans, could only do certain things. Freddy recalled the day he and the others began their first steps into their new lives and the end of their old ones.
We were standing on the stage, like any other day. But today, I knew something was different. The amount of customers that came in today were few, and those who usually cleaned after every day never came. Something wasn't right. The doors to the restaurant suddenly flew open way after they were usually locked. and all four of us saw the manager walk inside. Although we couldn't show it, we were extremely surprised when the man stopped before us, not ignoring us or scowling at us like he usually did. He seemed to be angry about something. Close behind him came a woman I somehow recognized and yet didn't remember meeting. She was holding a flat suitcase.
Are these the animatronics?
What stood in his will again?
The woman placed the suitcase down on one of the tables, took out a piece of paper, and began reading it out loud.
Upon my death, all animatronics under the Fazbear name, the Golden Springlock suits, the Fazbear Gang, and the toys, will be stored in warehouse number 1 and stay there until further notice from my heir. The money from my safe and any rights to the animatronics will be given to my heir, Frederick Fazbear.
My robotic eyes widened when the nickname Father always called me was mentioned in this strange letter. I wonder who it could have come from. I had a sneaking suspicion, but I hoped to whatever's up there that it wasn't true. The woman stopped reading and looked at us.
Who is this Frederick Fazbear? You said he would be here.
He is.
The manager, thoroughly annoyed, pointed at me.
That's Freddy Fazbear. That fool Cawthon always called it Frederick.
I was baffled and panicking. Cawthon was Father's last name. The woman stared at me, even though my face couldn't express any emotions.
Mr. Cawthon is giving everything he owns to a robot?
She looked down at the letter again, reading the rest.
Seems like it, and only Freddy here has the codes to his bank accounts.
Told you the man was crazy?
The manager remarked. We glared at him for having a go at our father. He jumped when he noticed us giving him a death stare.
Isn't there anything you can do?
He asked, pretty freaked out. He never liked us, always calling us insults like monstrosity or hell sent. I later learned that he planned to sell us off to the trash heap to gain a few extra bucks after the restaurant closed. The woman folded the paper and gave a look that was all business.
I'm sorry, but I cannot refuse Mr. Cawthon's last will. These animatronics will be moved to the warehouse, and all of the money that has already been transferred to a special account set up for, Frederick over there.
Only Freddy Fazbear has the codes to that account.
The manager growled. His eye had started twitching, and he appeared ready to burst. I was well aware that all of that money came from this place's budget. Without it, he would go bankrupt, and that made me laugh internally.
What have I done to deserve this?
I'm sorry, but there is nothing I can do. Oh, one more thing.
She took out 4 metallic magnets and carefully placed them onto all of us. Even Foxy, who was standing still in his cove, received one on his arm. She turned back to the manager. Once again, all business.
These are trackers. If you try to move the animatronics, we will know where they are. A truck will come for them tomorrow.
And with those words, she left the building.
That's it!
The manager shouted after her, but he didn't get an answer. So he turned to me, glaring.
I will get that money. And your little protector won't be able to save you this time.
He walked up behind me and opened the panel to the computer in the back of my head. All I could do was let the man do it. I could only move at night. At day, we were stuck on the stage, only allowed to move if guests were around. Suddenly, the metallic magnets on each of our bodies began making a low, dull beeping sound. The manager stopped his searching for the codes.
What the hell? The program's just changed.
Just as suddenly, my body made a jerk, making the man fall right on his backside. I felt the same jolt, and my head suddenly sprung up. I slowly lowered it, realizing I was in free roaming mode. I shook my head, feeling kinda lightheaded. I glanced to my left, seeing Chica standing in shock, moving her hands, testing her digits. To my right, Barney was testing his jaw movement, opening his mouth and then closing it, as if the feeling was completely foreign. I turned to Chica again. She looked at me, and seemingly came to the same realization I did. Barney opened his mouth, and placed his eyes in an angry expression, his way of making a smirk with his limited facial movement. At the sound of Foxy's pirate laugh recording, we turned to see him reveling in his new movement.
Holy crap!
I'd forgotten about the manager for a moment. I turned around to face him, staring him down. The man slowly started crawling away from me, whimpering like a baby.
You weren't supposed to move.
I wanted to give the man a remark, that he shouldn't underestimate the power of our father, but I was very limited with words at the time. Since I couldn't do that, I used the deeper version of my recorded chuckle to freak the man out. The manager's eyes had become the size of dinner plates as he crawled away even faster. Bonnie immediately stood in front of the man and screeched into his face. The manager screamed like a girl and jumped out of Bonnie's arms, running for the door. Bonnie opened his mouth and his voice box made a laughing sound. I gave the bunny an unamused look. Chica rolled her eyes but giggled, and Foxy played his pirate laugh, agreeing that it was funny.
Freddy.
Bunny called using his recording of my name. I turned to the purple animatronic, slightly raising an eyelid. The bunny pointed outside, then at some papers laying around, then to a picture we used when speaking of our father, and lastly tilted his head to show he was confused. I got what Bonnie asked, but I couldn't answer why this woman spoke as if she were our father. I slowly shook my head, showing Bonnie I didn't know. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the manager outside of the window muttering to himself, staring terrified at us. Using my electronic hearing, I managed to catch him saying one thing.
The rumors are true. I have to get rid of them.
I chose to ignore his words, and told the others to recharge through sign language.
30 minutes later, they woke up to a startling sight. The whole restaurant was on fire. However, none of them really understood what a fire was and how dangerous it really was until Foxy got a curtain which had caught on fire draped over him, melting what was left of his fur. The fox let out a screech, leaping out from his pirate cove, trying desperately to get the burning curtain off of himself. Bonnie quickly jumped down from the stage and tore the curtain off of his friend. It turned out to only bring pain to himself as his hands caught on fire. Bonnie tried to get this red eating stuff off his hands. He might not have skin to burn, but he sure as hell felt it burn his wires and metal. Foxy did the first thing that came to his mind and sliced off both of Bonnie's hands, saving the rest of Bonnie's body from catching alight. Chica looked around, feeling petrified. Seeing how this could eat Bonnie, the strongest of all of them, she knew they were all in danger. She turned to Freddy, who was trying to locate a safe exit. The fire already had a strong hold on the building, and escape seemed impossible for them. He looked up and pulled Chica out of the way of a falling stage light. Freddy desperately looked around, trying to find someone who could help them. He saw the manager standing outside of a barricaded front door. He screeched at the manager for help, but he just stood there, watching them with a sadistic grin on his face. Freddy felt angry, realizing that the manager was the cause of this calamity. He turned to his friends, seeing the fear in their eyes, then looking at the building being eaten by fire. He wanted them out, but the only way out was closed. They were trapped.
Brother!
They all turned to the source of the voice. In the middle of the room stood Goldie, no longer withered and once again golden. The golden animatronic gestured at them to follow him, and they did.
Follow me! Hurry!
Goldie commanded with a brand new voice without a trace of static. He quickly led the confused four to a room they did not know existed.
In here!
Freddy inquisitively looked between the door and Goldie.
Your programming kept you from seeing it.
Goldie explained and pushed his already burnt brother inside.
Hurry up! Get in!
They ran inside of the new room. It appeared to be some kind of safe room. This place wasn't yet on fire, but the smoke was extremely thick, and if they had been humans, they would have been dead. The red-eyed animatronic gave the frightened ones one look and closed the heavy metal doors. Hello travellers, I am Clapsmash, the writer for the audiobook you are listening to. If you've read Tiger's fanfiction before, you're probably wondering why this is worded so differently. Well, as this is an adaptation of her fanfiction, you need someone to turn it into a script. That's where I come in. I make sure all grammar is correct, I take out unneeded points, and sometimes put in some brand new ones. This project has been so much fun to work on, and I've met some amazing people while working on this, and I'm proud to call them my friends. So big thanks to everyone who helped in some way, shape or form. If you want something to check out while you wait for the next chapter, check out my YouTube channel, which will be linked in the description below. I have some fun content over there which I would be more than happy for you guys to take a look at. Don't forget to subscribe to Tiger and keep track of when the next episode is out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!